Alright, I said I was going to shoot a driving video, so I'll shoot the driving video. My buddy's 55 Caddy sitting here. Buddy's 59 Buick. Yeah, I put a new stereo in. The old one worked, but the tape deck didn't, and it kept draining the battery even when it was off. Thought that was kind of weird. So I decided, actually my battery ended up blowing up because of that. So I ended up buying one of those Optimum batteries, yellow top. And I had to modify my battery tray and put a yellow top battery tray on top of that and mount it onto it. So now it sits nice, it doesn't move. And you notice when I cranked it over, it spins really quick. My gauges are Pro Racing. I ordered them on Alibaba, believe it or not. They're all separate. Tachometer, speedometer, oil pressure, voltage, coolant temperature. Did I miss anything? I got a boost gauge. Planning on putting a turbo in here. I've been thinking about it for a while now. But right now you can see I got a BTR Stage 2 cam, which is for a LS2 or LS3. And for an LS3 6.2 liter, it would be pretty radical. It'd probably be the biggest cam you want to put in for a street daily driver. But this being a 6.8 liter, the BTR Stage 2 cam is like having a Stage 1 cam in it. I was thinking about buying the BTR Stage 3 cam. It's got a little bit more intake and exhaust duration. This has got 225 on the intake and 238 on the exhaust. And I believe it's 595 lift on the intake and 615 on the exhaust with a 113 degree lobe separation angle with 3 degrees advanced ground into it. The BTR cam, the Stage 3 is a little bit more radical, but the way this cam is now, it runs really, really well. It's got great road manners, drivability. I'm thinking if I put a turbo on it, I'm going to keep all this drivability and great road manners, and at the same time almost or actually even double my horsepower depending on which turbocharger I buy. I think I'm going to need a T6. I was looking at the engine compartment and checking out to see where I would have to put the turbo. It would have to be right where my air filter is right now. Obviously that air filter won't be there anymore because I'm going to have to get an air-to-air heat exchanger for the turbocharger. It's kind of a bad time to get onto the highway or freeway. A lot of traffic, but I'm going to see. You never know, I might get lucky. Or we're going to be sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. The car drives really nice, it behaves well, it idles really well, nothing shaking or vibrating. The Hodgkin frame connectors really helped. I'm not sponsoring those guys. They're kind of pricey compared to some other ones. And I decided to get them because I like the look profile. There goes a nice Challenger. So most of the bumps where this car used to rattle like crazy, it's cut down the rattling by at least 50%. The only rattling I ever hear is the doors now. Other than that, maybe the door pins are a little worn or the sleeves for the pins, I don't know, the bushings. It's got a really nice exhaust though. I get a lot of, hey, do you want to sell it? They just like the car. They don't have no idea what's under the hood. A lot of people getting on the freeway here. Definitely not going to have any opportunity to pull any moves over here, that's for sure. Way too much traffic. Looks like it's just getting worse. Telling me to get off the freeway, so I'm getting off the freeway. Zeros on this thing, they stick like glue. Ultra high performance summer tire, Z-rated. Tread wear life is 200, I believe it's AA 200. They're not as good as the Toyos, the R888Rs. Those are really, really nice. They're 100, AAA 100. So you're basically breathing off rubber as you're driving around with those things. They don't last very long. These don't last very long, but I think I'll get at least 20,000 miles out of them. That's if I don't smoke the tires every time I floor it. I got 235, 50, 18s up front with 8-inch rims, 18 by 8. And in the rears, I got 255, 50, 18s on 9.5 by 18 rims. They're Riddler rims. The models are 650s. Really cool. They happen to have a set that fits in a second generation Firebird. I don't recommend or endorse those guys. I just like their rims. A lot of traffic. Look at that. Can't win over here. Everywhere I turn, more cars. But it just goes to show this thing runs great in traffic. There's no headaches. You're not rough. You're not wrestling with the brake pedal. It's not crawling on me when it stops. I just wonder if I put the BTR Stage 3 cam in. I think the intake duration on the Stage 3 cam is 234 and the exhaust is 242 or 246, both at 50. The lift is the same, and I'm pretty sure the LSA is the same also. I hate to lose this drivability because it's fantastic. Look at this guy. Oh, you're not getting in front of me. I always liked underground, driving under a bridge. Oh good, the bus is stopping. Cool. Like doing that. Sounds like a monster in the bridge with the echo. So I was doing about 30 miles an hour and I hit the gas and I just broke the back tires loose. think the belt slipped a little bit too. I got to do something about that. It's not wrapping around the crankshaft enough. I need to put an extra tensioner in there or something. So I got to make a custom bracket. And I was looking under the hood because, you know, I was talking about camshafts and the BTR Stage 3. Not for anything, but that's an expensive camshaft. That's probably one of the higher end price-wise camshafts. I don't know about better cam than others. I mean, duration is duration, degree is degree, and you get it from BTR, or you get it from TIC Performance, or you get it from Summit Racing, or you get it from Comp Cams. The specs are very, very similar. Chances are it's going to be very, very similar. It's not going to make any difference. But either way, I'm looking at anywhere from $300 to $500 because I live in Canada for just a camshaft. So for $300 to $500, I could buy an eBay turbocharger. For a couple of $100 more, I could buy a Summit Racing turbocharger. I do want a T6, and it's probably going to be around $800. I'm not going to mess around using I got the factory exhaust manifolds. I could even flip these headers around and maybe somehow try to make a Y pipe that goes into the turbo, and weld on a T6 flange. And what else? I need one other thing there. I would need a wastegate for the exhaust. And somehow, if I could get it to mount under the hood, and I think I can, it's going to be really tight, but I think I could do it and have it on the right side in the front where the AC would go. Might even be able to put the AC in after, I don't know, but I mean, I'm not worried about the AC because I don't really care about it for air conditioning anyways. All it does is heat your motor up though, more, and I like driving around with the tops off anyways, so what difference does it make? So what I was getting at, $800 for a turbocharger. Let's say I buy the Lockhart, Blackheart, Holley exhaust manifolds. They have the cast iron ones for a turbocharger also. And they have a white pipe already for it. And it's got a V-bend for the flange, for the fitting for the whatever turbocharger fitting you want to put on there, whether it's a T4 or a T6 flange. So, you know, options, lots of options. So if I use my own exhaust manifolds, I'm going to have to get a white pipe made for it. I have my old Escalade white pipe I could use. It's an option. I didn't throw it away. It's got the flanges and everything that would bolt up the stock exhaust manifolds. Or I could go with the headers I have now, switch them. So I'd be putting the right one on the left and the left one on the right, and they'd be facing the other way. That's another option. And then I'd have to make a pipe and a bracket and somehow mount it. I don't have a welder, that's my problem. I'm going to have to get a welder, and I was looking at those plasma cutters. The 220 volt plasma cutter that's also a TIG welder and a MIG welder. I was watching it on YouTube. The cheap Chinese ones that are like $200 were just as good as the ones that you're buying here that are made, they're like eight times the price. I was thinking, I mean, for the job I'm going to do, if it lasts just for this one job, it paid itself off. I don't care if it breaks down, as long as it does the trick. And I'd need the plasma cutter, TIG welder, and I'd also need a cut-off saw or a bandsaw of some sort to cut the piping, because I'd want to be cutting angles and welding them to get the proper angles. It's tight under there, and you want to get the fitting properly. You're going to be doing a lot of cutting and welding, as I've seen on YouTube with a lot of these guys doing their LS swaps and putting turbochargers in. I have a couple of friends that are putting turbochargers in their LS swaps, but their LS swaps are into older series pickup trucks, or K5 Blazers, or 9 Blazers, I don't know what number they were. They're those K Blazers, like 1984, where the back cut bolts on it and turns into a pickup truck. They got a lot more room under the hood. They got a lot more clearance from the engine bay, from the top of the manifold up to the hood, where I don't, because this is a very narrow profile. So I got to tuck my turbo in, and it's either going in front of the rad, which I don't want to do, because I mean, that's your radiator cooling your engine. So I'm thinking I should put it over to the side. My air filter is going to have to be under the cowling, not under the hood anymore. So under the cowling, just basically under the headlights. And I would have to have an air-to-air intercooler in there. I don't know how much space I have. I don't have a lot, but I'm going to have to jam one or two of them in there. Because you see these guys with their turbochargers on the dyno, They got water coolers, compared to water coolers. Sure, they're making 1200 horsepower. Try doing that on the street with the heat, with the restrictions under your hood. You're not going to be making 1200 horsepower. You'll blow your engine up. That being said, if I get a turbocharger, I imagine I'm making roughly around 650 horsepower at the crankshaft. So with a turbocharger, I could easily get it up to 1,000 horsepower comfortably without stressing anything else. Just got a compliment from the street crosser guy there. Likes the car. See, he's 320. It's 330. I'm gonna go by the airport, see if there's any chance to get onto any one of those strips and gun this baby. No left turn after 4 p.m. Well, it's 3:30. I got this fancy mirror. I still don't know how to use it. Yeah, sure, buddy. Just start driving. You got your hazard lights on. It's a GPS. I don't know how to use it. It's got a backup camera built into it. I got a little camera on my license plate in the back. It works when I stick it in reverse. It's got a clock on it. Once in a while it feels like it wants to go to front camera mode. It's also got a camera in front. When it's on front camera mode, all the displays come up with all the apps that are on it, which I have no idea how to use. You're supposed to link it up to your cell phone. When I first originally got it, I thought it was a standalone GPS built into this mirror. So, wow, that's cool. You know, I was thinking that's great, but no, it's not a standalone GPS built. It's got GPS. It accepts GPS through Bluetooth through your cell phone if you have GPS, but it doesn't work on its own. It's supposed to have an FM tuner in it and all that stuff. I don't know. I got a stereo. Oh, by the way, as you guys noticed, yeah, I got a new stereo in the thing. I put an Alpine AM FM CD player. It's got XM radio and all that stuff. It sounds amazing. Like, I mean amazing compared to the stock radio. I was saying before, the stock radio was draining the battery.